Okay, so today we are going to be taking a look at lesson 15. We'll be working bubbles 1 through 5. And today's lesson is all about keyboard inputs. So, again, if you are a PC gamer, if you've ever played any kind of game on a PC, you know that usually you are going to control your character in the game. Doesn't matter what the character is, by some kind of key combination on the keyboard. And that's what we are going to learn how to do today. All right, so first bubble in lesson 15 is always what our new code is. You always can click on this code and it will take you to more information about what that code is and how it works. So feel free to do that and you can read through there as you would like, but that is always a clickable link. All right, bubble number 2. All right, so bubble number 2 is just a prediction. So I can't tell you what to say, but obviously you know that to move past this bubble, you are just going to make a prediction. The cool thing is this, with a prediction, as long as you do it, you get it right. It's kind of like writing a hypothesis in science. All right, so it says, see if you can predict how key down block works. You will not write any code. Do this. Read the program carefully. Make a prediction about what you think will happen when you press the space bar. And then write it in the box below. Be specific. Run the program. While the program is running, press the space bar on the keyboard. Were you correct? Were you surprised? Discuss with a classmate. All right, so let's take a look at what this code looks like. All right, it says draw. So this is all inside a draw loop. So we know that with a draw loop, it'll go to the end of the draw loop and then jump back up to the top. We have a white background. We have text aligned to the center that says center. And then it says text size 100. Okay, so that's pretty big text. And then it says text key down space, comma, 200, 200. All right. So what do we think might happen when we press this button? Anybody? What do you think will happen when I press the space bar? Please do not put it in the chat. I cannot see chats when I'm sharing my screen. Any ideas? Okay, well, I will let you take a look at it at your own time, but we are not going to spend too much time here in silence because that just seems like a waste of time. All right, so we're going to go ahead and move on to bubble 3. Okay, this program uses the key down block to detect whether specific keys are being pressed down. Do this. Run the code and try pressing the P and H keys. Look inside the if statement. Remember, if statements are conditionals. Look inside the if statement to see how the code works. Add a block inside the third if statement to change the animation to a different animal. All right, so it looks like we're pressing the P and the H buttons. Let me take a look at the conditionals. Background white, if key down H, sprite is a hippo. If key down P, then sprite is a pig. All right, cool. So let's see how this actually works. So I have to have my H and my P ready to go. I'm going to run this. All right, so apparently I got a giraffe. But if I push down my P button, it changes to a P. Piggy. Oh, look at the piggy. He's so cute. And then now if I press on my H button, I get a little blue hippo. And now I have a conditional in here that is asking me to do something different with. It says if key down is R, then what? Okay, cool. So I want to change the look of the sprite because that's what it asked me to do. So if I press down the R button, what is the sprite going to be? Well, I'm going to set a different animation. And I'm not sure what I have available to me. Oh, okay, there's a rabbit already preloaded. So we're going to call it sprite set animation, and it will be rabbit. Okay, so I'm going to reset and I'm going to run this. It's naturally giraffe, but if I push down the H button, I should get a hippo. Oh, run. If I push down the H button, I should get a hippo. There it is. If I push down the P button, I should get a pig. Shazam, there it is. And if I push down the R button, I should get a rabbit. Shazam, there it is. All right, so again, this is a conditional. It's telling me if you do this, then this other thing happens. But if I don't do it, then it doesn't happen. That is what a conditional is. These are Boolean statements, which we did in our last lesson, if you recall. All right, so we're going to go ahead and finish this one. And we're going to take a look at bubble number 4. Do this, moving sprites. You can change your sprite's position based on the keys pressed in the same way you want to change its animations. Add an if statement inside your draw loop. Check whether the right arrow key has been pressed down. Add a code inside the conditional to move the sprite right if the right arrow is down. And then it says, do you need to change the sprite's X or Y property to move it to the right? So that's just giving you something to think about. All right, so I need to press the right arrow key to make my sprite move to the right. All righty, let's see what that's going to look like. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger so it's easier to see. And I'm going to run, and my ladybug just shows up. Okay, so I need to make the ladybug move to the right if I have the right arrow key pressed down. So the first thing I want to do is I want to put in a conditional, which I believe are under control. So my if statements is going to go here. All right. So if, go back to the world, the key down is right. So that's going to be my right arrow. Then what is going to happen? Okay, cool. So then what's going to happen is, I need to create a variable, my bad. Then what is going to happen? It looks like the name of this sprite is bug. My bug.x is going to be equal to bug.x. I'm changing the x position plus 1. All right, cool. So I'm going to hit reset. I am going to hit run. And nothing's happening, but nothing should be happening because see my hands? I am not hitting the right button yet. So I'm going to go down now and I'm going to hit the right arrow key. And whenever the key is down, it moves. But when the key goes up, it doesn't move. So keep that in mind looking at your world. So key down, when the key is down, that is what happens. The bug moves 1. So again, anytime I hold the key down, it moves to the right. And by the way, nothing happens if I move left because I haven't told the computer that. Remember, computers are kind of dumb and they only do exactly what you tell them to. And ladies and gentlemen, I am going to leave bubble number 5 to you. So this is the one you are going to do on your own. Let's get the gears to spin only when the space key is being held down. Do this. Add code that checks whether or not the space key is being pressed down. Move the code so that the gears rotate only when the keys are being pressed down. So again, if you run this, you have these lovely gears and they're already moving, but we only want them to move when the key is being pressed down, specifically the space key. So you get to do bubble 5 on your own. I hope this helped. As always, if you guys have any issues or questions, please ask.